All right, so now we're looking at that fine rear end there. I haven't jacked it up yet, just started getting everything situated, but did a quick measurement beforehand, and it's like it's right around 13 and a half inches in the rear. Expecting that to increase quite a bit. So gonna jack this guy up, take these shocks off. Same sort of situation you got right there. You have 17 millimeter front and rear, and then up yonder 17 millimeter on this side and that other side there. I have bracers to install for these as well. I guess they go up there. We'll look and see whenever it comes time to put these back on. But gonna do the pull these off, get them inside, and start the process of breaking these down. All right, just to let you know, the one on this side, the same bolt on the passenger side for me, super tight. It's definitely a tad bit higher than the recommended foot-pound torque. This one is coming out, but it's a pain in the ass to get that bolt right there. And since I have a 17 already on my impact, I'm just gonna pull the tires off. It's gonna make this whole process easier. And when I get that shock out and finish doing the shock work, I'm also gonna pull clutch cover off just to inspect. A while back I put the G-Boost belt on, clutch weights and all that, and having all of this stuff off of there, I mean, it'd be just stupid not to go ahead and deal with that while I have at that point. So sorry about the wind. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna pull the tire off to make it easier to get that out on both sides. And on top, I'm hoping it's not going to be too big ordeal. This is a freaking ginormous shock. I'm hoping my setup I built in there holds this effectively. I guess we'll see shortly. All right, guys, so pull the wheel off. It did make it easier. And one other thing you can do is while you are trying to back this bolt out here, just grab this guy, just lift this up a little bit. Lift it, it pulls off some of the pressure on that bolt and lets you pull it right off. Makes it a much easier process than you might initially assume it is. Now let's pull him off. All right, so as I said earlier, this side was ridiculous. I'm gonna end up using a bolt that I had left over from installing the front shock brace and replaced the bolt that was here. Impact really did a number on that trying to get it out, and I still couldn't get it. Even I have a 4-foot cheater bar, wouldn't come out. So I just put it back here, unscrewed it from the unscrewed the nut, and then hammered it through. And so I'm not going to reuse that bolt, obviously. Up here, I'm having the same damn problem. Sprayed it down, let it sit for a bit, trying to get it out. I'm going to try to get the nut off from the back side and beat it through without damaging this thing too much. I do have another spare bolt that I could use if needed, but if I can get away with not damaging it, that'd be fine. So just kind of letting you guys know, it's not as simple as take shock off and take it inside and 5 minutes later you're done. No, it doesn't. It never works that way for me, ever. So just want to let y'all know some of the pains and trials and tribulations that going through. And also, this gives a good, you can see really well here where they talk about the transmission being right above the little crappy beer can protection they got there. I have the transmission plate from Full Access UTV steel plate that goes, it mounts, you know, underneath here. I'll be doing that after I get these shocks all done. That'll be one of my next ones. I want to get shocks done, so maybe have a little bit more room to get myself underneath there to do it. All right, I'm gonna be working on this guy up here and see what happens. All right, so got it started. Let me show you what I ended up having. I had to get new and improved super mega cheater bar. Basically, it's hanging off over there with my fat ass on it, and it finally broke. I was like either gonna break this ratchet or, well, who knows? Could have broke a lot, I guess, but I didn't give a care at the time. So got it. So if yours is like that, a 5-foot old piece of fence post does the trick. All right, working on the last one here, and just wanted to show something I saw real quick. Probably you need to be checking your shocks out a little more often than I probably do. But in here, let that focus in on there, got a piece of stick or something shoved up in here that I'm sure is not the best thing. Luckily, it's close to this part here to where I don't think this is gonna move much at all to scratch that up. But, you know, if it could have been somewhere else, maybe it's worse. I don't know, fixing to pull it all apart, and we'll see if it did anything else in there. But I just wanted to show that, something I saw. All right, got the spring off, and besides it being dirty, it's really no worse for wear than any of the others. So pull this off, clean everything again, put the other spring on, keep going. All right, I can't recall if I said anything about it, but on the rear shocks, you have this piece here that the tender spring goes on to. Just make sure you clean really well underneath it and in between here. Another issue I saw was on my threads. You can see right here, they had a rough life at some point. It was able, you know, this went up and down it fine, so I don't think it's too big of an issue, but something you may see. Try to zoom in there. Something I saw. I went ahead and rolled these up pretty high, because from doing the other one, this is about where it's going to measure out. So I'll measure it out, you know, and lock it in later. But just to save some time while this is in pieces, it's easier to do it now. And so now I'll finish wiping it down, and then put the tender spring and big spring back on. And one thing I saw, of course, you got to clean all this crap too. See how this has Fox Racing, whatever the mess. So if you want to make sure you put your shock back on exactly like it was, you know, I don't know if that's required, maybe the same both ways, but just in case, if you look at your shock, you will have, let's see if you can see that as well as I can, written in dirt, Fox Racing. So that kind of helps you before you clean it, knowing if you forget, you pull it off and you just set it to the side, it rolls, something happens to it, and you want to make sure you put it on the way it came off. Well, that's one way to look at your shock before you clean it. And then next time you put it down, make sure you put it down the way you want to put it back on. Just something I saw. All right, so it's on again. The distance from this edge to the bottom here needs to be 8 inches. 8 inches. So, you know, get all that taken care of. And one thing I did to kind of help, my threads were really, really good on this one. So, you know, to keep this height the same, I would just tighten him this way, tighten him this way, and just keep doing that, maintaining because I found if I tried to just make him tight or make him tight, do that sort of thing, it would fluctuate the height, then I'd have to redo the whole stupid thing, start over. So so that helped on there. And also for this guy as well, like I showed a little bit ago, I kind of pre-put this about where I thought it would need to be as compared to the other one, and I within a couple millimeters, so it worked out really well. And same thing, just kind of bump him, and just kind of cinch that, tighten that up, and then pull your little rubber gasket anti-clunking device down a little bit, and it's done. It's all on here, ready to be installed. The next thing that we will be doing is installing the rear shock mount braces, and then putting these shocks in. So let's get started on that. Real quick, laid them down with each other, did a side-by-side comparison, just to, try to make sure. Actually, I lined up the center, I lined this up, and just, did a visual to make sure, measurement-wise, I wasn't off. Everything looks pretty much identical. So my measurements look like they were pretty decent. Kind of hard to tell with that shadow, but those are pretty much spot on. All right, let's get cranking on the next part. All right, so here's all the pieces and parts in a Coke Zero that comes with the full access UTV rear shock mounting brace kit. You have these 4 plates, 2 for each side, bolts and nuts, 11 millimeter. I have a couple wrenches, a socket, and the bolts to mount the shock. We'll look up in here. This is where they're gonna go. You see, Kawasaki, for some reason, left those 2 spots there. And these guys are like, hey, you're gonna leave us these spots? We'll go ahead and make us a nice mounting kit. So, or brace. So basically, it goes like this. You can see that. Those holes line up. This will be your bolt, to hold your shock mount. You'll have one here, and then you'll have one here on the other side. This side's the easy side, because you don't have all this crap over here like you do on the other side, the driver's side. So I'm gonna do this side, and I'm gonna mount my shock up in here, and everything will be ready for just because I want to have one side completely done. I still have some stuff I want to do on the other side. So this is to help up in here. This will waller out over time if you're doing, I don't know what, normal riding, a lot of normal riding, a little bit of big riding, who knows, but over time it will kind of waller out and cause this to break, this ginormous shock to shove its ass right into there and total your vehicle out. So to keep that from happening, and since I was doing this shock work, it's cheap, figure why not go ahead and get this done. Let's start this process. Well, crap, I didn't realize I wasn't recording, but I just picked up this guy, lined it up as good as I could, and shoved this bolt through, and it did go through. Just gotta hand tighten him on there. The bottom. So with this, it has a little bit, needs to come up. So what I'm going to do is grab this guy, lift him while lining him up, and then somehow magically shove this bolt through there. Not exactly sure how that's going to happen, but that's the plan that I've worked out in my head. So let's see how this works. Let me figure out where I can mount the camera. Alright, let's see if this works. I am just stubborn, and the stubbornness is ridiculous. So I want to see how I can get this done without a jack. I've been done about an hour ago, but you know, got to do it the right way here without a jack. So folded this shop cowl up in here, because the problem I'm having is not being able to hold this guy up and lift this and put the bolt through. So I figured if I could get one of these things off my plate, then that would leave me with the number of hands to do the job. We'll see. Or not. Shop cowl action going. Oh, look at that. I'm glad that even worked on camera, because I thought I was going to have to finagle it off camera, then just turn the camera on and say, oh, look how easy this is, like everyone else does. But no. So what you need is a shop cowl folded just like this. Pretty professional. I'll probably sell these for $199.99. Let me know if you need one. I can fold a couple for you. Happened easier than I thought. hardest part about the whole damn thing was lifting this here and having this cotter pin there dig into the palm of the hand. So don't do that. So that is this side. I'll torque these down just like I did the front. And yeah, got this side done. One more side and we are golden. Just quick reminder, the torque spec is 70.4 foot-pound. So that's for both top and bottom. Get this guy tightened on here. Alright, don't laugh, but I wanted to show, in case someone else is having the way this bolt head is down here. For at least the tools I have, I can't get a good hold of that, and so it ends up trying to strip. So I needed to extend out to where I could do that. So that's how I'm doing this. And that wrench back there is just hanging on, and I'm going to use that arm to keep it from turning. And so that's how I'm going to torque this bottom one. I know, kind of janky, but yeah, it is. Alright, so this is the other side, the harder side of the two. Look back up here and you see why all this crap to get in your way. So this thing is in one of the bolts you'll need. So I'm going to use a screwdriver and pop him off and shove him back over there. Obviously getting our hands all up in here is going to be way more difficult. So this I would label as the oh so fun side. So I'm going to do that crap. If I encounter, well, I'll film it. I came out this somewhere. But I'm also, and I would recommend you guys to do this as well when you're to this point. See all this open space for activities here. Perfect time to go ahead, pull this clutch cover off, check out your clutches, your weights that you may have just put in, your new belt that you may have just put in, and blow it out and see if you had any water leakage from riding over at Zona. Talking about myself, obviously. So it'd be a good time to check all that, because it'll never be this available, or it won't be this available again for quite a while. So I'm going to do that, but first we're going to get this done. And I'm not going to film doing all this work because I've done that in another video, but I'm going to take the clutch cover off, blow it out, put it back on, and then install this shock. And that's probably where I'll pick up is when this shock is installed. Show you how that turns out. Alright guys, so I figured I'd show y'all real quick. Clutch looks pretty clean inside. Pretty pleased. No signs of water intrusion or leakage. I'm fixing to get the compressor and blow it out, but I don't want to touch it too much, but everything looks like it's supposed to. I'll tell you, it's about 1,000,000 times easier to get this clutch cover case off. Alright, if you look down in here, let's get some light over here. Looking pretty decent. Nothing that wasn't on there before. So, pretty pleased with it. That may help a little better. I'm not going to go through the trouble of pulling the clutch weights out to look at them. It's only been literally under 100 miles, so definitely not going to do that right now. But I will blow it out real quick. Lost arms. Shock is braced. It's gonna be great. It'll never break or nothing. And that is installing the brace. Alright guys, sorry about the walked up angle. That's all I got. Alright, we're going to see if we got to use the patented shock tail method, or if this one will just somehow work itself a little better. And one more hand, boom, it's in there, we're done. Let's see. Use my leg. Let's see. Yeah, well, I'll reinvent the wheel. You know the patented shock tail method works. Shop tail right there for the win. Alright, we're going to torque these down and put the tire on. And I can freaking roll this thing, so that'll be good. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like after done. You see the front and rear on here. Let's take a look at them, make sure nothing looks out of place. Looks good. These here and here. So these are clocked 180 degrees. Remember, you need to make sure you do that. So they're still clocked. Case is good. Noticeably taller, so we'll measure that in a second. Fronts, then you can see clocked. Should be here. Here's the other side. Right here. So that one is as well. While we're walking around, can just show you, I have the extended factory flares, the bars, all kind of goodies, the factory light, exo gear, test tire mount, tire, fire extinguisher for the razors, little cover there, plastic rear, scratched up, don't care for it, but it's going to stay for right now. The windshield's getting replaced, it's on order. PV3 tablet holder, all kind of normal switches and stuff that everybody installs. The gate in the back here behind the seat, you can see it. The bags, BRP or PRP bags, like this a lot. Easy place for storage. Front bumper, Axiom A-arm guards, would recommend those if you don't have them. This guy, let's verify. All right, here, so it should be, yep, so still clocked good. And this side is as well. So let's pull a tape measure out. Sorry. One end here. So rear, we'll measure just to this guy here. Well, on gravel. So give or take, it's about 18 inches to that spot right there. So about 18. I think 15's the norm. Then I have 35s on here, so I can see why that would give that much. I'm expecting this to drop an inch or so, and that would be just about right where I want it. And this one, really need to measure to this tab over here. See, he's right about terrible. Can't do this crap one-handed. There we go, but trust me, about 18 as well. So front and rear, very close to the same. Expecting a little bit of sag over time. So will give me the ride height I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a monster truck. I'm just looking for a little more clearance and comfort. I mean, it really makes the side-by-side look huge. But that's it. Any questions, comments, let me know. I'll probably make a full video with all of this install with the mounts and everything, and then separate them out as well for those who don't really care to sit through all that crap. But overall process not too difficult. a little daunting at first if you've never done it before, but trust me, if I can do it, any of you can do it, no problems. Just be slow and double check your work. Don't try to rush through it, and you'll be fine. All right, guys, subscribe and all that crap. Thanks.